Hi YouTube, welcome back to another video. Today I thought I'd do a book haul video. I have actually bought a lot of books this month, a lot more than I usually do. But what can I say, I like books. I'm not really going to apologise for it. So the first few books that I bought this month were the Darker Shade of Magic series, and this includes A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab, A Gathering of Shadows, and A Conjuring of Light. So this follows Kell, who is a magician that has a kind of rare ability amongst magicians, which is the ability to travel between parallel universes, or in particular parallel Londons. Now there's 4 different Londons in amongst those, and which includes Red London, White London, Grey London and Black London. Now different Londons have different amounts of magic in them, and Kell works as kind of an ambassador between all 4, and also on the side as a kind of smuggler. After an exchange goes awry, perilous magic is afoot and Kell must stay alive in order to save all 4 worlds. So I got this one because there's a lot of hype about it and I still haven't gotten round to reading it yet. So I'm kind of excited to see what it's like and whether it lives up to the hype. So the next series I bought was The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. This includes The Raven Boys, The Dream Thieves, Blue Lily Lily Blue, and finally The Raven King. Now this follows Bloom, who's been told for her entire life that she will kill her true love. Now she comes across Gansey's spirit and she knows that there's only one of 2 reasons why. Either he is her true love or she's killed him. Determined to find out the truth, Blue becomes involved with the Raven Boys. Now I don't know too much about this one. I know it is super hyped and a lot of people love it, so I thought I'd give it a go. I tend to steer away from some of the super hyped ones just because I'm worried that they're not going to live up to the hype. So I have high hopes for this one, but we don't know. Now the next book I bought is actually the 3rd book in a 3-book series, which is the 3 Dark Crowns series by Kendare Blake, and this book is The 2 Dark Reigns. And in this book a long dead queen makes a chilling return, and Queen Catherine, who has waited her entire life to be crowned, and now that she finally has it, the murmurs of dissent grows louder by the day. Now I bought this book because obviously it's the 3rd and final book in a 3-book series, so I kind of had to finish it off. I can't just leave something halfway done, it just doesn't work. And I actually kind of enjoyed reading them, so hopefully this one will be a nice easy one to finish. So another book series I bought this month is the Old Kingdom series by Garth Nix. Now this includes Sabriel, Lyriel and finally Aborsen. Now this follows Sabriel, who lives on a boarding school and has little knowledge or experience in the free magic or the dead that won't stay dead. Now in her final semester her father goes missing and Sabriel knows she must enter the Old Kingdom in order to find him. Now this book series, a lot of authors tend to cite this as inspiration and a lot of people tend to give this fairly high reviews. So I've been really interested in buying it for a while and I just haven't got around to it. So I'm kind of excited to see what this one's about and how it goes. Now the next book I bought was actually, I saw it in one of the Fairy Loot boxes and I was kind of intrigued by it, and also the cover is quite pretty. I'm a magpie, I like pretty things, it's fine. The next book is Heart of Thorns by Bree Barton. Now this follows Mia, who's been brought up in a world where only women can have magic and as such it is mistrusted and everything. And her father has brought her up in order to be a witch hunter basically. But instead of letting her go off and become a hunter in her own right, he sells her hand in marriage. Before she gets married, she plots in order to escape, and as she escapes she discovers that she has the magic she has been trying to destroy. Now I'm really interested by this one, especially in the way that it's only women that seem to have the magic and have the power, and obviously it's mistrusted by the men. So yeah, I'm kind of intrigued by what's going on and how this almost dynamic between men and women are fought out in the fact that women have magic and men don't. The next book I bought was actually due to a booktuber and her review of it, so I'm kind of excited to read it, and that is The Sawkill Girls by Claire Legrand. And this one I bought because I thought of Tombs and her YouTube videos and review of it, and it sounded really interesting, and I do occasionally like getting scared. All the time, but sometimes. So I'm going to be reading it with all the lights on in the house because that's the only way I think I'm going to get through it. Book I bought is Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir, And this one I bought because actually it's one of the book of the months for one of the Facebook groups that I am in, and I thought it sounded kind of interesting. I know a lot of people rave about it on YouTube. And this book follows the character Lia, who ekes out an existence in the impoverished backstreets. And when her brother is arrested for treason, Lia is forced to make a decision. In exchange for help from the rebels, Lia risks her life and spies for them in the military academy. Now this sounds quite interesting, and it's kind of interesting that it's set in ancient Rome, and that's kind of not that popular from what I have read. Usually it ends up being kind of situated in a Lord of the Rings-y styled world, so it's kind of interesting for a Rome sort of point of view from it. Now another book I got this month was actually from my Fairy Loot box, and that is Circle of Shadows by Evelyn Skye. This one's kind of interesting. It follows two apprentice warriors who live in a kingdom of peace and who are unable to prove themselves to their countrymen and to other warriors. And during a routine scouting mission across their kingdom, they come across a mysterious band of soldiers. So in order to gain some more information about these mysterious soldiers, and kind of as a way to prove themselves in a kingdom of peace, Sawyer and Damon infiltrate the soldiers and risk their lives to find out more information. Now finally, the last two books I got this month are actually on my sort of most anticipated reads for this year list, which you can actually find on my blog if you head to my website. The first one is The Wicked King by Holly Black. Now this follows on from the previous book, The Cruel Prince, and it continues Jude and Cardan's story as Jude has become the puppet master for the Elder King. I am so intrigued by what goes on in this one. I really enjoyed The Cruel Prince. It had a slow start, but I did really enjoy the ending of it, so I'm kind of intrigued as to what goes on in this one. Now last but not least, and the most excited I think I've ever been for a book release, is The King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. Now this follows on from the Shadow and Bone series, or the Grishaverse series, 3 years after the Ravkan Civil War broke out between the Darkling and the Grisha, and continues on Nikolai, Zoya's and Nina's story in rebuilding the country again. And it kind of delves into Nikolai's story and how he was infected by the Darkling and the after events of that. So I'm kind of really excited because I love Nikolai and his quippiness, and I'm kind of interested to see a bit more in depth of that character and how he rebuilds himself and his country. Okay, so that was this month's book haul. Let me know if you've got any of those books on the series and what you thought of them. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'm looking forward to reading, perhaps reviewing them later. If you'd like me to review any of them, leave a comment in the box below. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. Alright, thanks guys, bye!